Now I have not read this book. I wish I had uh, acquired it earlier, but in 2023, you came out with a book, The Inner Story of the New International Version, Reflections of an Original NIV Translator. Would you mind speaking a little bit to that? What your original role was and in the NIV?
Yes. Well, I was resident in the US when that version began, but I was privileged really to be the only, apart from the US, the only international person. And now in their ongoing committee, they do have representatives from women and also from other countries.
Hmm.
So it was very much appropriate that someone from a little place in the deep south could be working on the new international version,
Hmm.
not the new American version, as it were.
Yes.
So it was while I was at Trinity, and strangely enough, it was back in 1971 that a colleague and I had the privilege of doing the initial translation of Colossians
Hmm.
and Ephesians.
Hmm.
Of course, that's not the one that appears today because there have been some modifications, improvements over the years, alteration with regard to uh, how you refer to men and women and so on. But yes, that was in 1971, and then I was later a member for 12 years of the Committee on Bible Translation, the group that is ultimately responsible for the version and has the copyright on the version. And then when we came back in New Zealand, I had to gently bow out. But I had that privilege for those years in working on that central committee as we evaluated one another's work and particularly all of the recommendations that were given from around the world as to how this or that verse or passage could be improved.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. And I was born, as I mentioned, in 1971, but the Bible that I really grew as a Christian in, as a high schooler and then as a college student was the 1984 NIV. So I'm very great. That has a special place in my heart, the NIV version that you helped produce.
Yes, well, that's right, 1978, and then, as you say, 1984, and even up now to
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe I'm wrong, but in '84, that's when they, of course, I think you know this much better than I, but I think did the New Testament come out first and then the Old Testament, or I'm not sure, but then it was put together, and for some reason the copyright is '84 for the version
Yes,
that I was familiar with. Um,
that's the most common version, actually, yes.
okay. Um,
So it was
so
1973 that the New Testament came out, and then 1978, both the Old and the New.
yes, yes, very good.